Space Marine battle tanks. Engines roaring like thunder, the battle tanks of the Adeptus Astartes race into combat. Their weapons crack and boom, spitting the Emperor's fury at their foes. Their heavy tracks churn the ground to ruin, spraying mud and gore in their wake as the armoured vehicles surge forward to shatter the enemy battle line. Where other races' tanks are lumbering behemoths or slender blades, Space Marine battle tanks are pugnacious killers, as fast as they are lethal. Cutting through the enemy ranks at breakneck speeds, the aggressive machine spirits of these vehicles take a rudimentary satisfaction in slaying those who oppose the Emperor's will. Steadfast and reliable, they serve their chapter to the very best of their abilities, daring destruction time and time again in order to support and protect the Space Marines alongside whom they fight. Each Space Marine battle tank is built around a reinforced variant of the Rhino hull, optimized toward a specific battlefield role. As with the Adeptus Astartes themselves, each model of battle tank works best when deployed as part of a varied Space Marine strike force, utilizing its own strengths to the fullest and working in conjunction with the warriors around it. The renowned Predator boasts a turret-mounted, auger-guided heavy weapon and can be fitted with 2 sponson weapons on its armoured flanks. While certain chapters have access to unusual marks of Predator battle tanks, 2 main patterns of this vehicle see common usage in the 41st millennium: the Predator Destructor and the Predator Annihilator. The Predator Destructor is equipped for laying waste to enemy infantry formations and destroying lightly armoured vehicles with its formidable autocannon, and often sponson-mounted heavy bolters. The Annihilator variant, meanwhile, is armed for defeating enemy vehicles and bringing down high-priority targets. As such, most Annihilators carry a full array of armour-piercing las cannons into battle, and can visit swift destruction on even the most resilient foes from afar. By contrast, the Vindicator is a short-ranged sledgehammer of a vehicle, a siege tank whose massive demolisher cannon can reduce any target to a smoking crater. The Vindicator is especially favoured by the Imperial Fists, who regularly field whole squadrons of these tanks and rely upon their concentrated volleys to blast open fortress walls, flatten gun nests and bunkers, and lay low super heavy battle engines. Other chapters, such as the Iron Hands and the Crimson Fists, favour the Vindicator for its ability to efficiently eradicate its target with a single well-aimed shot. Even specialists in stealth and speed, such as the Raven Guard or the White Scars, keep several squadrons of Vindicators in reserve, ready to roll forward and strike a decisive blow should one be required. Both the Hunter and the Stalker are anti-aircraft tanks, specialist support vehicles that race alongside Space Marine strike forces and ensure that the skies remain clear of enemy flyers. The Hunter is a weapon of relentless pinpoint accuracy. Its bulky Sky Spear missile launchers fires macabre savant missiles, armoured ballistic sarcophagi in which are interred honoured chapter serfs. The minds of these servitor revenants link with the guidance systems of the missiles in which they lie, calculating trajectories and guiding the missile unerringly to its target. The Stalker, meanwhile, is an air denial unit without compare. Its Icarus storm cannon arrays fill the sky with soaring lines of blazing rounds that no foe, no matter how agile, can long evade. The Whirlwind is the Adeptus Astartes' foremost artillery tank, highly mobile despite its fire support role. It excels in the annihilation of massed infantry and light armour, able to keep pace with the swift advance of a Space Marine strike force. Squadrons of whirlwinds lurk behind or amongst their comrades' formations, always ready to unleash a thundering barrage of missiles upon the foe at extreme range. When working in concert with far-ranging land speeders spotters, whirlwind artillery tanks are utterly lethal, even to garrisons of enemy fortifications and troops occupying concealed positions. Rumbling through the smoke and flames of battle, the Predator tank hunts its prey. An adamantium beast, it stalks across ruined worlds and through tangled wildernesses, its guns tracking across the horizon. A swift and brutal fighting vehicle, the Predator provides the Space Marine chapters with prodigious amounts of fire support. The battle tank's heavy bolters and autocannon are the bane of infantry and light vehicles, while the Annihilator's variant las-cannons spell doom to any armoured enemy. There are few things that can stand before the combined might of a Predator assassin squadron, a trio of Predators. Their Space Marine gunners creating interlocking kill zones to bring down even massive Xenos creatures or slab-sided war machines in focused barrage cannon fire. The whirlwind fills the sky with successive volleys of high explosive missiles that hammer the foe with staggering force, leaving masses of enemy infantry scattered and shell-shocked. Thanks to their complex auger arrays and servitor-assisted targeting cogitators, whirlwinds are able to level repeated strikes against their targets, even should they be veiled in darkness or concealed within static defences. Whenever these long-ranged artillery tanks bring their weapons to bear, lethal warheads scream down from the sky in their dozens, each one impacting with the force of a meteor. For those caught in the open, such a bombardment is an outright death sentence, as whole swathes of enemy troops vanish amid the fury of multiple blasts. The thunder of a Vindicator squadron opening fire is a truly apocalyptic sound. As each cannon lets fly, the very air vibrates with the report of its fury. Yet this is nothing to the cacophony of destruction that accompanies their ammunition's earth-shaking impact. As each of the siege tank shells slams home, it explodes with enormous force. Barricades are blown sky high, and fortress walls reduced to so much rubble in an instant. Enemies caught at the heart of the blast simply cease to exist, obliterated utterly by the Vindicator's fury. By then the tanks are already advancing, enemy fire ricocheting off their siege shields as their autoloaders cycle and their monstrous demolisher cannons prepare to fire again. From out of its massive turreted warhead chamber, the Hunter sends Skyspear missiles thundering into the heavens, emitting a piercing scream as it tears across the firmament. Each of these sacred rounds seeks out the skyborne foes of the Emperor. Entombed in the heart of each missile, a servitor savant guides the ordnance to its foe. Even if the missile flies wide of its mark, the hardwired savant will send it back on course. The missile continues to relentlessly track its prey, tumbling and twisting through the air until in a blossoming cloud of fire it connects, rendering its target into nothing more than a shower of blazing shrapnel. The Hunter is often deployed to destroy heavy flyers or to defend an area from aerial bombardment, ensuring that no foe is beyond the reach of the Space Marine's wrath. The Stalker's Icarus Storm Cannon array fills the sky with sustained anti-aircraft fire. Lightly armoured targets are peppered with rounds, their hulls buckling and breaking under the onslaught, while even heavy flyers cannot tarry long in the hostile airspace. The paired cannons are guided by a servitor conclave, and under their control, the Stalker can swiftly track multiple targets or focus its guns on a single foe for devastating effect. Squadrons of Stalkers become more effective still, loosing a rolling storm of exploding ordnance that pulverizes anything foolish enough to attempt to fly through it. The Stalkers obliterate all enemy aircraft, protecting the Space Marines on the ground from aerial assault, and ensuring that the skies above, as well as the battlefield below, are dominated by the Adeptus Astartes.